Hello everyone, my name is Syed Athar and today I am going to do a presentation about logic probes. Well, I am going to explain about two probes. The first one is Elenco LP525K. As you can see, the schematic of the probe is fairly complex. It displays logic levels high or low, the voltage transients down to 25 nanoseconds. The LED readouts provide instant response to the logic state. To detect the high and low level, the LP525 uses two comparators of the quad comparator LM2901 IC. As you can see the schematic diagram, one comparator drives the high LED and the other drives the low LED. The comparator output goes low, indicating negative input is more positive than the positive input. To measure TTL circuits, the TTL CMOS switch is set to TTL and the red and black alligator clips are connected to plus 5 volt DC and the ground. The positive input of pin 5 of the high comparator is then biased to 2.3 volt DC by resistor network R9 through R15. Thus, the LED lights when the probe tip is more positive than 2.3 volt DC. To measure CMOS circuits, the high comparator changes to 3.5 volt DC or 70% of the supply voltage. There are a number of resistors and capacitors used in the circuit, which is about 22 resistors and 7 capacitors, which are ranging from 200 ohms to 4.7 mega ohms resistors, and whereas the capacitors ranging from 0.001 microfarad to 200 picofarad. Coming to the semiconductors in the circuit, which are diodes, transistors, LEDs, and ICs, and the miscellaneous components like DC board, probe tip, IC circuit, cable which is 1.5 meters long, power cord, and so on. Some of the specifications about the probe is input impedance, which is 1 mega ohm, input overload protection, which is 35 volt DC, where TTL is 2.3 plus or minus 0.25 volts and 0.80 volt plus or minus zero point 0.1 volt. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor is divided as 70% and 30% VCC. Response is higher than 25 nanosecond and the power required is 5 volt VCC at 30 milliampere and 15 volt VCC at 40 milliampere. Coming to the operation of a probe, the important factor in assembling the kit is good soldering techniques. To operate the logic probe, connect the two alligator clips to the circuit's DC power supply. Red clip to the positive voltage and black to the ground. To make sure the circuit supply is under 35 volts or it can damage the probe, set the logic family switch to TTL or CMOS. Touch the probe tip to circuit node to be analyzed. The LED display on the probe body will light to indicate the condition of the node. To prevent power supply spikes, connect the leads as close to the node to be tested as possible. As for the component price and supply of our probe, the components which are ICs, diodes, which is D6 and D1 to D5, resistors from R1 to R22, capacitors which are 7, PC board, probe tip, and the 3 LEDs which are the prices as given. The vendor of all these components are DigiKey and the quantity of the components are as mentioned. As for the assembly, install the power cord to the PCB by soldering. Place the PCB into the casing and attach the label through the screw. Coming to our other probe, which is Elenco LP535K. Well, the schematic of the probe is also complex. It displays logic levels high or low, sounds high level, and voltage transients down to 10 nanoseconds. To detect the high and low logic levels, the LP535 uses two inverters U1A and U1B. As shown in the schematic diagram, one inverter drives the low, which is green LED, and the other is high, which is red LED. The red LED lights when the input voltage is more than 50% of the supply voltage. The function of the switch of TTL or CMOS levels input high signal makes up the special circuit on the base of the transistor from U2 and the additional components. The output of U1A and U1B are connected to differential circuits C3 or R3 and C4 or R4. As for the resistors, there are less compared to 525 probe, which we have seen before, which are about 10 resistors varying from 470 ohms to 15 mega ohm, and the capacitors about 9. As the semiconductor states, in which just one is Zener diode and there are two ICs. To operate the logic probe, connect the two alligator clips to the circuit DC power supply, red clip to the positive voltage and black to the ground. To be sure the power supply is under 35 or can damage the probe, the green LED will light touch the probe tip to the circuit node to be analyzed. If the voltage of this point is above 50% of the voltage power supply, the red LED will light to indicate high level voltage. If the sound switch is in sound position, you will hear the beeper tone for the high level voltage. If the sound switch is off, the same results occur with the LEDs but without sound. When there are single pulses on the probe tip, the yellow LED will flicker with the frequency of input pulses. The continuous pulses, the yellow LED will stay lit. As the components which are mentioned, 4001 diode and 1N5232. About the price of $1 from DigiKey, and the quantity of them are 7. And there are about resistors which are ranging from 1K to 15 mega ohm resistors which are about $2 to $3, and about 3 LEDs which are 0.5 dollars which are from DigiKey as well. The estimated time to assemble any one of these probes, whether it is LP525K or LP535K, is 1 day approximately, if you have all the components and the skilled soldering means. The prices of the probes are fair and not so expensive as they are older models. Some of the probes in the market, which is LP560, about $26, and the other is LP900, which is about $44. The vendors are Amazon or eBay. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.